Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about editing or creating a Scentsy club, and I'm going to kind of walk you guys through what I am considering clubbing or not when it comes to the end of this fall-winter season of the catalog 2023. And I do have my actual computer here with my clubs, but I find that I'm not super fond of the videos where we just kind of scroll through and stare at everybody's bars, and I always have a really difficult time making my camera and my tripod behave anyway. So I'm just going to kind of talk you guys through it. I will let you know what's in my club as I read down through things, but first I would really like to talk to you about why you even have a club in the first place. So Scentsy Club is a free subscription service that Scentsy offers to anybody that has been buying as a customer, or you could even be brand new to Scentsy and have never bought a thing before. You go on to whoever your consultant's website is, and you're going to create an account with an email and a password and all your pertinent information. And let's say that you are already a Scentsy junkie and you need another club, you would have to have a separate email and probably other distinctive information. You can have two different accounts under the same consultant, but let's say that you wanted 2 quarterly clubs rather than just one, you can't do that under the same email and the same information, so you have to be able to find a way to duplicate yourself with it being unique. Anyway, all that said, you can carry a monthly, a bi-monthly, and or a quarterly club with Scentsy. Your monthly club would ship to you 12 times a year, your bi-monthly 6, and then your quarterly 4. For me, I always use what's called a skip for each of my clubs, and I carry a bi-monthly and a quarterly all year round. So once in a 12-month period of time, you can skip each individual club. So I typically will skip my bi-monthly in the summer, and I'll skip my quarterly right after Christmas because my random date when I created my club, it always processes on the 12th of the month. A question that I get a ton of is, can I change my club processing date? Unfortunately, you cannot. So you can move things around. Let's say you only had a quarterly, you've already used your skip, you know that this is a bad month, and you could scoot that into a bi-monthly frequency for a month and then move it back again if that helped you to kind of work on a budget. Unfortunately, sometimes my customers have even had to cancel just because they were unable to make the rhythm of the club and their bank account work, and that always makes me sad. So I'm trying to figure out any way that you guys can keep your saved bars without having a heartbreak. So those are just basics. Now, for those of you who already have a club, you know how it operates and you know how to do all the things inside. You're just dying to know, what is it that should be saved for fall, winter, and honestly, because they extended the Bring Back My Bars from January of 2023, we can talk about some of those too. I'll tell you which ones are in my club. But let's start with the catalog. The catalog for fall-winter of 2023 was just jam-packed with things that were fantastic. So I'm just going to read all the bars that are in here and tell you whether or not I'm clubbing them. Apple and Cinnamon Sticks is great. I'm not clubbing it. Autumn Hearth, I believe I clubbed that. I'm going to be checking to make sure because I've done a lot of edits to this account. Autumn Sunset is amazing. Now, this is a bar where last year, Autumn Sunset is a deep purple. It's up here, I believe. Last year, I melted a lot more Autumn Sunset than I did this year, meaning the fall 2022 versus 2021. This is Apples, Pumpkins, and Spices. It is an OG fragrance. It is very old as far as the formula. Incredibly good performance. If you haven't tried it and you're a spice and fall junkie, throw one in your club or order a couple before the end of the year. I would not be shocked if Autumn Sunset retired completely and we do not have it in the catalog next fall. I'm not going to save it. I'll probably regret it, but I should probably grab another one. I have 2 or 3. It's so strong, that scent, that one bar does me for an entire season. The next one is brand new, and that is Blackberry Spice. I did club that. I'm not sure whether that will come back or not next year, because when we got a really good look at the spring-summer catalog, oh man, they were just ruthless. Even a couple of the new releases did not come back, and then they added LTOs in ways that I've never seen Scentsy do before to repopulate a catalog. So, and I love Blackberry Spice enough that I want to use it all year anyway. That's one of my considerations when I'm clubbing. These are the things that I think of when I'm putting a bar in my club. Is it unique enough that I should club it? Is it something that I do not want to be without on the off season? Am I afraid it's going to retire? Do I really enjoy the performance, or even if the performance is lousy, does it give me a nostalgic emotional connection to something? If it meets all those criteria, I usually club it. So the next we have Christmas Cottage. This is a really, really classic Christmas scent. If you aren't emotionally attached, I would gamble on that, but if you are emotionally attached, even though it will probably come back next year, you just never know. So I put that in my quarterly. Then we have Cider Mill. Now this is another one. It is so, so good, and so many people love it, but I always club it and I put it in my bi-monthly so that I never have a Scentsy heartbreak, because that is probably one of my all-time favorite meltable fall smells. Some smells you get emotionally attached to when you enjoy them, but in all honesty, you don't melt them that much. But Cider Mill I both love and melt tons of. So even though I'm going to put that in my bi-monthly, which I think it's already in here, if it comes back in the fall, I've already front-loaded an entire stack and I can buy other things, new things in the fall. It's also a great way to sort of work out your budget and your stash if you plan ahead. Then we have Cinnamon Bear. That one went into my quarterly because I am a spiceaholic and I need all the spices, and I even like them in the summertime. Clove and Cinnamon also, I believe, went into my quarterly, just because I don't know if either of those classic spice scents is going to retire. Dancing Sugar Plums is a personal favorite of mine. That one went straight into my bi-monthly. It is more mellow. I need more of it than I would Cinnamon Bear as far as quantity to be able to get a good volume of scent throw, so I've got Dancing Sugar Plums in my bi-monthly. Farm Stand Pumpkin, I don't remember whether I decided to club that or not. First Day of Fall is beautiful. It's a bestseller. I don't love it. Now, do I think it'll come back next year? Absolutely. Harvest Blessings, I'm not sure. This is one I actually like better than First Day of Fall. I didn't club either of these because they're just not my jam, but that one, if you love it, maybe club it. Maple Apple Bourbon. Now, I love Maple Apple Bourbon. I know not that many people do. I clubbed that. I think I put it in my quarterly, though, because, again, I really don't go through that many bars in a year. Pumpkin Chai, I clubbed that because it's a personal fave of mine. Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl. I'm on the fence about this. I've been buying a stack, and I am torn whether or not I'm going to club that by the end of the month. Spiced Ember Glow, I truly do not have an attachment to that one. I don't mind it anymore. I used to really not like it. But I like it enough that I appreciate it, not enough to stock up or worry about it coming back next year or club it at all. Welcome Home is one of the ones that just all year round, it's in the catalog. You can get a brick. I do not have to worry about saving that in any special way. Now we get to the bakery, and of course the spice in the bakery is where most of my bars that went in my club are going to be, because those are my favorite categories, and I love woods too. So bakery, apple cherry strudel. I am very worried about that bar. I clubbed it. I would definitely club it if you are in love with that one and you don't want to cry next fall. Baked apple pie stays around all year. It's a good one, but you don't need to club it. You can get a brick too. Blueberry cheesecake, that one stays around all the time. I don't like that smell, but I guess enough people do. Cinnamon buttercream. I'm not clubbing this because I like it, but I have so many more bakery scents, especially in my bi-monthly, that I did stock up on it, but I will not cry if that doesn't come back in the fall. It's quite popular. I think I can gamble on that one. Clementine Cupcake is continuing. Grand Apple Crumble is a newer one. We had that just as a new release. It is very nice. It's not nice enough that I'm going to club it, and I also won't cry if it doesn't come back next year. I bought one extra to tuck away for the middle of the summer when I'm bored with sweet, coconutty tropical scents and I want some fall bakery. Graham Cracker Crunch. This one I have waffled on. To club, not to club. It's very good. I think it'll come back next year. Do I want it in the summertime? Yes, I do. So I put that in my quarterly, at least for now. Hug in a Mug. I've never cared for this scent. It, to me, is like Tootsie Rolls, and I just don't like it. If you are a Hug in a Mug devotee, I might club it, though. Pumpkin Roll. Now, here is one that I have gotten frustrated with. Pumpkin Roll used to be rock solid. Every single bar I got was amazing. Now, some of my bars of Pumpkin Roll smell like nothing. So I'm not going to give it space in my club. I think I bought a couple extra. And I don't know, it's such a classic, and when it's good, it is so good, but it just isn't good all the time for me anymore. Salted Caramel Toffee is very nice. I don't have an emotional attachment to it. I don't know if it'll come back or not, but that is one type of scent where I don't feel like one is so much different than another that I need to specifically save anything, except there is one oldie but goodie in my club that I'll tell you about that's never in the catalog anymore. That one always stays for me because it is very distinctly different. Scary Good. I thought about clubbing this. I don't know how well it sold this year. It's fantastic. Of all the pumpkin scents that we've got in the catalog, I think that one might be the best. I'm gambling on it coming back, so I just got a small stack. We'll see how that goes. Sugar Cookie. They're taking it away for spring, summer. You can get it in a brick. If you absolutely love it, I would club it for safety. I always just grab a brick and hope it comes back in the fall. I do really, really enjoy that smell, though. I use it as a mixer for everything. Vanilla Bean Buttercream always continues on. I wish Sugar Cookie was the one that they would keep all year and they would retire Vanilla Bean Buttercream, personally. But it is what it is, and that's just the way it's going to be. And then Vanilla Cinnamon Maple turned out to be one of my personal loves. I don't know that that will come back next year. I put that in my buy monthly. Now we're on to the fresh category and the wood. So in the fresh, I'm traveling pretty light. Aloe Water and Cucumber went on to the new catalog. Amazon Rain always stays in. Arctic Kiss is fabulous. It's a bestseller in this catalog, but I've seen bestsellers retire. If you love it, put it in your club. By the Sea stays all the time. Clean Breeze and Clothesline stay all the time. Cozy Cardigan. This one and one other one that are in the fresh category. These are the ones I would warn you. Please club them. I think Cozy Cardigan is old enough and has enough competition that if you love it, I would club it. I certainly did. Eucalyptus Wreath. Here's another one. I really like it. I don't think I am going to club it because I'm not going to be absolutely heartbroken if I don't get it back. But if you love it that much, I would probably club it or at least get a stack. I'm kind of 50-50 on whether we'll see it in the catalog in the fall. Fluffy Fleece. I don't think anybody needs to worry about this. It's not my favorite. I don't even need to lose sleep over that one. Frosted Vanilla. That is in the new releases. I think it's the most popular new release we've had. And I think I did throw it in my quarterly, but it's more to get some extras ahead of time than because I'm worried. Icicles and Evergreen. Now here's a quandary. They put it in the brick collection last fall. It's a very nice smell. I don't like it enough to club it, but if you love it, sometimes they make these bricks and then the next season that scent is gone. It's so strange. Newborn Nursery, I don't know why that's in there. Perfect Peppermint, that one and the Newborn Nursery always continues. It's just a core scent that they never get rid of. Perfect Peppermint, that's a classic that's been around for forever. I guess if you absolutely love it, and some people would use it all year, maybe put it in your club. Polar Bear Hug. I don't know whether this one will retire or not. I think it's popular enough that it'll just stay put, but it's fantastic. And if it's your absolute love, I would club it. Silver Bells. Now, of all of the scents in this catalog, if you love Silver Bells, please club it. I do not want to hear about how any of us were negligent to warn you. We've all warned you, all of my consultant friends, club Silver Bells. We are very worried that Frosted Vanilla is going to bump Silver Bells out of the catalog next year. White Amber and Silk, yeah, I might club that if you like it because I don't know if it's sold enough to stay around. Now we're going to go into woods. Around the Campfire, I always club because it's so unique. Be Merry, I have 3 or 4 of them downstairs that I didn't even melt through, so I'm not going to club it, but if that is your Christmas-specific, special, nostalgic smell, just club it to keep yourself emotionally at peace. Blue Sage and Tonka will continue into the spring-summer catalog, which I think is actually a very wise choice. Cashmere and Corduroy is phenomenal. I'm sure it'll come back next fall. I just club it because I don't want to be without it. It's so good. Cedar Cider, I am clubbing this. This is another very old formula, kind of like Autumn Sunset. I think it's more popular than Autumn Sunset, but you know, I don't know. And it's so good. I never want to be without it. That one went in my bi-monthly. Falling Apples, I don't really care. I think it'll come back next year. It isn't one that I love so much that I need to club it. Huckleberry Hideaway, that was probably my least favorite of all the new releases, and I really don't think it's coming back. So if that is your thing, please stock up or club it. Iced Pine. Now, this always comes back. I put it in my quarterly because I really like it. It's very versatile. I think it'll come back, but I'd rather not take a gamble. Mystery Man. That one just continues all year. We're good. Toasted Acorn and Oak. I have fallen in love with this bar this season. I put it in my bi-monthly. Very Snowy Spruce. I don't think we need to worry about that. I've got tons. Some people love Weathered Leather. I'm not that person. I'm not worrying about it. I think it continued on anyway. And then White Amber Antique, which I love, thankfully it continued on into the next catalog. Now we're down to Fruity, Citrus, and Floral. Autumn Road Trip. Here's another one where I have a question mark. I think it probably will be retiring in the next couple years unless it's sold a ton. And I have not heard that much about it from a lot of people. It was a standout new release, what, 3 years ago now? I put that, I think, in my quarterly. I don't like Berry Blessed, but some people really do. You might want to club that. Black Currant and Plum I thought was very classy from our new releases. I'm not clubbing it, but I did get a couple extra bars. I'm not sure if that one will come back or not. Black Raspberry Vanilla, that's just going through the next catalog. It's always a classic. Bright Cider Life. Now, if you love Bright Cider Life, like I love Cider Mill, I would say club it. I think it'll be back. I've got a stack. I'm gambling. Caramel Apple Craze. I would almost guarantee you that that'll be back, but I put it in my club for my younger daughter because if it doesn't, I will hear about it for years. Fairy Tale Pumpkin. If you love Fairy Tale Pumpkin, please put it in your club. I really don't know if that's coming back next year. Johnny Appleseed continued into the new catalog, Orchard Apple and Spice. Now here's one I'm torn about. I got a whole extra stack, 5 or 6 bars. It's so good. I don't know how well it sold. If I was a gambler, which I'm kind of being with this one, I think I'm not going to club it because I got the extra stack, but it's so good. It's one I might regret. It may not come back next year. Perfect Day. I thought that one was really weird. I don't care whether it comes back or not. I don't know how well it sold. I didn't sell a ton of that myself, so if you really love it, maybe put it in your club. Pomegranate Prosecco. I am totally ambivalent about this bar. I have 1 bar. I melt it like once every 2 years. I don't know how well it sells. They almost always have a pomegranate smell in the catalog, so if that's your specific love, I would club it. Otherwise, I wouldn't worry about it, but I don't know if it'll be back next year. Scarlet Sunflower is gorgeous. I really think that'll be back. I have a few bars. I'm not clubbing it, but I don't know. I think it's so popular, like Here Comes the Sunflowers, that they have to have one like that in the catalog. Tinselberry. That one is unusual. I don't like it, but if you do, I would club it. Very Merry Cranberry, I would be shocked if that does not come back. Winterberry Apple Tea, again, is so popular. If it's your absolute love, put it in for safekeeping, but I'm sure that'll be back. Then in citrus, we've got Blue Grotto, which continues. We've got Coconut Lemongrass, which continues. Dips of Cider, which very few people liked. I did not like it enough to club it. I don't know that that's going to live to fight another day if it's your love. And then Luna and Velvet Moon. I mean, Luna never goes away. And Velvet Moon, I think that was very popular, and I would hope to see that back next year. Now, I feel like I skipped over Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl. Did I? I don't know. No, I think I talked about it. Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl is one of those that's really sticking out to me as far as I don't know whether to club it or not. I would be really shocked if they pulled it, but they've done crazier things, but I think I already talked about it. So that's the catalog. Now I'm going to go through here and read you guys what I've got. So my bi-monthly club, like I said, I skip this one in, July or August every year, and then I skip my quarterly right after Christmas. So this is what's in my bi-monthly right now. 1 bar of Oats and Honey, 1 bar of Toffee Butter Crunch. This is the one where it is my favorite caramel toffee smell, and it just stays and stays. World Traveler, which I love. It's such a good musky, manly cologne scent. Almond Croissant I have 1 of because the whole reason I started a bi-monthly club is when Scentsy got rid of all the best bakery. I got really upset, and I created this club, and now it's huge. So they got what they wanted out of it, 2 bars of apple butter frosting, always, all the time. That will never change unless we get it and bring back my bar, and then I still don't think I'd ever take it out of my club. Butter Pecan, I've got 1 of those. I have 1 Mandarin Moon from BBMB a while ago, 1 Bora Bora Blossom, 1 Southern Evening, which is so nice. And my Mandarin Moon and my Southern Evening, eventually they may be negotiable. I would already have kicked out Mandarin Moon if my younger daughter wasn't so attached because I really like it, but I think I have enough bars to get me through for a while, and I appreciate it, but do I really need a huge stack? Probably not, but she thinks I do. So, Bora Bora Blossom I almost got rid of, and then I melted it again, and I said, I just can't. I like it too much. So Southern Evening, Simply Vanilla, Vitamin R Relax is one of my favorites of all time from last year, and that will never come out of my club. I doubt we'll ever see that again. Vanilla Bourbon, that's in there for my younger daughter. Not my thing. I mean, I like it, but it just doesn't throw very well. French Toast, that's for me. Lemon Coconut Chiffon, that's for me. These are BBMB's last summer. Love and Happiness, that's for all of us. It just makes us happy. Buckleberry, that is one of my favorites. And everything except apple butter frosting is just 1 bar. Then Atlantic Air, I am so glad that I put that in my club, you guys, because this did not come back in the spring-summer catalog that starts in March. Vanilla Waves, that one was another shocker. This is why you put things in your club. So I tried to be strategic about last year, the spring-summer that retired in 2022. Thankfully, I guessed right. Sometimes you just don't. I guess totally wrong with Cozy Fireside, and if you guys have watched my channel for a couple years, I don't need to repeat my incredible anger and frustration and sadness about losing that bar. So I really take it seriously now after that scare. I will put in more than I need and then just buy less in the next season that's coming up. I'd rather be safe than sorry. So Vanilla Waves I kept. Tiara and Coconut, that was from the Island Days collection. That's a personal favorite. If I get a gigantic stack and my club is just too unmanageable, I might pull that eventually, but I know I'll regret it because we'll never see that again. Anything LTO, you keep those in your club, because the chance of seeing a very obscure LTO, like I really want Cozy Cabin back. I didn't understand how Scentsy Club worked all that well when I put it in to begin with, and I very much kicked myself for having that come out of my club several years ago. Caramel Chestnut. Now here, I bought too many bricks and now I have all these bars. I'm kind of hoping Caramel Chestnut will come back in the fall winter catalog so that I don't have to keep, and I put it in my bi-monthly. I should have put this thing in the quarterly. That's the other thing I already mentioned, but how many bars of a scent are you going to go through in a year? Really try to think about quantity and then club which frequency you want it in. If it's a Christmas smell, are you really going to need 6 or 8 or 10 of them? So for me, most Christmas or holiday specific or very short window of melting, I put those 1 bar in my quarterly, and I always skip the 1. So I get 3 bars of whatever it is a year. If I know I'll go through a lot more of it, and a lot of these are that, then I throw it in my bi-monthly. Or like Mandarin Moon, I'm kind of ready to take it out, so if my younger daughter finally falls out of love with it, I'll just get rid of it, and I had it in my bi-monthly to get more of a front-loaded stack faster than my quarterly. So then Caramel Chestnut, like I said, I probably really should have put that in my quarterly because I'm going to have too many bars plus, what, 3 or 4 bricks. I got a little brick happy on that one. Maple Rum Cake, that's in the right place. It's in my bi-monthly. I'm going to melt tons of that next fall, winter. St. Nickerdoodle, same thing. I know I want tons of that. Cozy Vanilla and Pumpkin, this is one where I put it in here to front-load it. I don't know that I will save that bar for forever and forever, but I want a stack of it going into the fall. So if by September I feel like I have enough and I'm kind of over it, I will take it out of my club. Plus, I have to see what comes back from fall, winter. Cranberry Muffin. I know I'm going to melt a lot of that. Autumn Stroll. Oh, you guys. I think most of these BB&Bs are still available as I am still talking to you here mid-February. If you like spiced berries, you have got to try Autumn Stroll too. It's lower level, more mellow. It is so good. Apple Cherry Strudel and Sticky Cinnamon Bun. Those one is going to be fall retired, and then the Sticky Cinnamon Bun's BB&B. I have a small house. Sticky Cinnamon Bun is perfect for me. It doesn't work for everybody, but I want a lot of that in a year, so I'm going to be getting my 5 bars, plus I've got a couple in reserve. Loving that. So Apple Cherry Strudel, Cashmere and Corduroy. Now that I am anticipating pulling right out when we see the catalog roster for fall winter of 2023 into 2024. I would be like fall on the ground shocked if they pull that bar. Everybody loves it. It's such a good performer. It's so popular. But let's say for some reason they were totally crazy, and they did. I'd rather have that in my bi-monthly because I know I'm going to want 5 in a year. Cider Mill, same thing. Clove and Cinnamon, Dancing Sugar Plums, Silver Bells. If it was just me and I didn't have 2 other females in the house to compete with, I would put Silver Bells in my quarterly. But my girls both love it, so I want to make sure my bi-monthly is where it belongs. Toasted Acorn and Oak, I will totally go through 5 in a year. Vanilla Cinnamon Maple, same thing. Cedar Cider, absolutely. That needs to go in here if it were to retire. Blackberry Spice, and again, I'm pretty sure that's going to come out when we see the fall roster. Oh, I did put Autumn Hearth into my bi-monthly. I guess I decided that I can't live without it, so it's so good. Fried ice cream. Now this one's sort of on the bubble. It's in here-ish. Farm Stand Pumpkin, that's kind of the same thing. I'm not sure if I'm going to carry a club quite this big. Sea Salt and Avocado, that's just a brick. I want that. This is going to ship in March. I want that Sea Salt and Avocado brick so I never have to think about that scent again. It's good, but it's totally retired. And if they pull the brick at some point, I want to be amply supplied, but if I'm realistic, personally, I'll melt 1, maybe 2 clams of Sea Salt and Avocado in a whole year. That's going to last me a while. And then the last one that's in my bi-monthly is just here. I'm sort of saving it in case the BB&Bs sell out before I make my last order at the end of the month, and that's Coconut Palm. I melted that again in my room, and I think I'll like it in the summer, so I want a couple more. So I've just got it here in case it sells out before I can get a regular shipment by the end of February. That's not going to stay. Okay, next we have my quarterly. So that's more bars than I ever feel like I'm comfortable carrying in my bi-monthly, and I will have to whittle that down. But for right now, I'm just saving everything, and then I will have a hard talk with myself over the next 2 or 3 months. Okay, now here in my quarterly are the oldies but goodies that do not leave. Farmhouse Fur. These are all one bar unless I tell you otherwise. Sweet plum pastry, cozy cashmere, cozy spice, hazelnut frosting, toasted marshmallow, cozy chai, vanilla oud, stroop waffle delight, cranberry pumpkin spice, sweet orange pomander. I love sweet orange pomander. Hendrix, homestead holiday, red berry and spruce, black forest pine. Now here's a couple that are sort of on the bubble. I want to melt them over the summer and figure out if I really need more. These are from BBMB last year, bamboo yuzu and summer rain. Now, I am sad that I put summer holiday into my quarterly. Originally I put in 2 bars, and then I decided, oh, it'll probably come back. I'll bump it down to 1. 3 bars a year is enough, but I really wish I'd kept it at 2 because 6 would have been much better. So that I'm glad I have it. I didn't, lose that bar. It's not coming back, spring summer catalog, and it's my absolute favorite spring summer bar ever from Scentsy. I love it. I never melted a ton of it anyway, which is one of those weird, nostalgic, you love it, but somehow you just don't reach for it that much bars, so I'm probably okay at 3 bars a year, but I really wish that I'd either had it in my bi-monthly or I'd kept it at the 2 bars that I put it in originally. French Lavender, which I'm so glad I saved, and 3 bars a year is enough, it's fine. Lush Gardenia, same thing, I'm so glad I have it, but I'm not going to melt tons of volume of it. Maple Vanilla Glaze. Now this one's sort of riding on the, I don't know if I want to keep it for forever, but I want to stack. Cozy Fireside, 2 bars. 2 bars quarterly. I'm not touching this till I have a stack of like 15, and then I'll bump it down to 1. Sweet Orange and Evergreen. I'm going to go through so much of that bar next fall, winter. It's not even funny. I probably should bump that up to 3. I'm not going to, but it's so good, you guys. Cinnamon Pine Cones. I've got 1 bar in here quarterly. I'm debating about keeping that one. Winter's Eve, same thing. I think Winter's Eve is probably going to be the first one I'll take out of this club as, okay, I've got enough. I really like it, and I want a few, but it isn't like some of the others in here where I'd be so sad if I didn't have it. But I really like mixing that with Iced Pine. Autumn Blaze Maple, oh my gosh, you guys. I'm so happy this came back, and it is staying in my quarterly probably for forever. I love Alternate Warm. We're doing that one with Toasted Acorn and Oak. It's phenomenal. Okay, Spiced Berries, again, it's a great bar, but am I gonna melt more than 3 clams in a year? No. Woodland Suede, same thing. Vanilla Cream, now I have vanilla cream in here because I have Simply Vanilla in my bi-monthly, so that's plenty of vanilla all around. Flower Shop, Around the Campfire, Autumn Road Trip, Cinnamon Bear, Cozy Cardigan, Iced Pine. I'm going fast because I'm getting up to like 30-minute mark, and I know y'all don't need to hear this 17 times. Maple Apple Bourbon, Pumpkin Chai, Rum Raisin Cookie, Caramel Apple Craze, Graham Cracker Crunch, Christmas Cottage, and Frosted Vanilla. Now, Graham Cracker Crunch, Christmas Cottage, and Frosted Vanilla, I may cut those. Probably the first one to go will be Frosted Vanilla and then Graham Cracker Crunch, just because I think they're coming back, and I really, really like them. The Frosted Vanilla, I'm almost positive will come back, and the Graham Cracker Crunch, I like it, but it isn't quite as valuable to me as some of the other things in this club. So that's where I'm at. So my clubs are pretty hefty right now. More than I really want to be carrying, but I would so much rather have it in here than not. So those are my thoughts. If you guys have any more specific questions, please put them down in the comments below. I hope that that's comprehensive enough. You can see that I like spice, I like bakery, I like woods, and I love my fall winter special LTOs, and I like things in men's cologne that are very warm and resinous. So this is Elizabeth with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents, working on how to put things into your Scentsy Club and giving you kind of a blow-by-blow on what's going away from this catalog that I think should be saved. And you can start a Scentsy Club with me at waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, where I'm Liz Quinn, your Scentsy consultant if you don't have a home to park your club. I love having club people. It is just one of the most rewarding and fantastic things to watch you select and enjoy all of your bars, and it's just a blessing. So have a great day.